in time and water, facing the death of his country's glaciers and the loss of his beloved grandparents. Icelandic writer Andri Snær Magnason turns his archives into a time capsule to hold what is slipping away: family, memory, time and water. Time and Water is directed by Sara Dosa, and she has previously directed films such as The Sea and the Unseen and Fire of Love. And Time and Water just debuted at the 2026 Sundance Film Festival. Time and Water is not really a traditional documentary that has a narrative strand going through the film. It is just a bunch of archival footage and home video footage from the writer Andri Snær Magnason's personal archive, and mixed with commentary on what climate change is affecting just him and also everyday people in Iceland. And I think on that level, this movie is successful. It's kind of like a time capsule in Iceland. It's something you put in a museum where it just gets snippets of everyday life in Iceland and the environment they live in and the way they live their lives and the type of people who live there. Magnason intends this film to be a time capsule for someone in the future. If they happen upon this film 100 years time, they can see what it was like in Iceland in the 21st and 22nd century. The film has a mix of footage of the glaciers in Iceland and from historical footage of what they were like then and what they are like now, and the size and how they deteriorate over time, and also has a lot of home video footage of Magnason's grandparents when they were younger, how they met, how they grew up, how they had a family, how they lived their lives, how they took adventures all through Iceland, and how they grew up in Iceland. But for me, I don't really connect with this film, and also previously Sara Dosa's film Fire of Love, which also debuted at Sundance in 2022 and went on to get a nomination for Best Documentary. That film and this film, I found the subjects potentially interesting before I watched the documentaries, but I just found the way they edited, just very non-linear style, didn't really gel with me. I had a hard time connecting with Fire and Love and also this film. But Fire of Love was one of the most acclaimed films of 2022, and Time and Water is one of the most acclaimed documentaries of this year's Sundance. I would definitely recommend checking out these documentaries, especially if you're a lover of the director Sara Dosa's previous films and this type of documentary. It's very non-linear style, capturing like a time capsule, capturing Iceland in the present day and the previous times. So if that sounds something interesting to you now, I definitely recommend checking out this film. But for me, I just wasn't able to connect with what the director and the Iceland writer Magnason was trying to achieve with this film. I give Time and Water 2.5 stars out of 5 as a time capsule of Iceland in the 21st century. Then this film is definitely achieves that goal. You get a snippet of climate change affecting everyday people in Iceland, and also some nice home video footage of Icelandic writer Andri Snær Magnason's grandparents throughout the 21st century. But for me, the non-linear lack of narrative throughpoint throughout the film just wasn't able to keep me engaged, even though the subject matter was potentially interesting to me. So yeah, if it sounds up you've read it, I definitely recommend checking out the film. But for me, I wasn't able to connect with the film. Thanks for watching. Did you connect with Time and Water? Please comment below what you thought of the film. See you next time. Bye.